Hi, Stacy. This is Jim Gillis with Win My Vote and the National Student Parent Mock Election. Sorry I don't have my camera on. I actually have it on, but I'm sorry you can't see it. For some reason, the screen capture software keeps jumping over it and it disappears. So sorry about that. I will figure that out, but I wanted to get this to you as soon as possible and talk about your organization being a possible sponsor or partner of both or either the National Student Parent Mock Election and Win My Vote. So Win My Vote, this is the site here. You're looking at one of the ballots on Win My Vote, and Win My Vote is a nonpartisan, universal, interactive social voter guide, for lack of a better term. So we're still waiting for someone to come up with a better name for this platform. But essentially what it is, it's a platform where as a voter, I have everything that I need on one site. I can check on my voter registration status. I can find my polling place. I can see all the candidates and all the races, up and down my ballot. I can see all of the propositions as well as all of the measures. So this is essentially the voter information guide pamphlet that's printed up and mailed out to everyone from the elections department. It's that booklet online. But one of the biggest differences about that is that here the candidates build and manage their own profile, the same way you would build and manage your own online dating profile or LinkedIn profile or Facebook page or Twitter account. And the way that works is that as a voter, I can see all the candidates here, but most importantly, when I click on their profile, I can hear directly from them speaking directly to me, and I can look at the issues that they feel are the most important. I can see groups and organizations and individuals that have endorsed this candidate. I can scroll through those, and then if I see someone that I like or that I'm interested in, I can click straight through and I can listen to that.
Leadership is not yelling and screaming and intimidating, right? Yeah, she knows.
And I can share this profile on social media. I can go back to my ballot here, and I can comment on the race. We have a comment board, and again, this isn't open to everybody. It's open to the people that are on my ballot. So here I just type in my zip code and get my ballot. So this would be the California presidential race. So everyone in California would be on this comment board. But as I move down through the state executive offices to the more local offices, I'm also moving down to people that are just in District 7, for example. So now I'm commenting with other people from that same district. And here is where Win My Vote becomes very powerful for sort of down ballot candidates. For example, Michael Young, he may not have any money at all and no big backers or anything like that, but he's going to spend a couple of $100 on his campaign. He's going to build a candidate profile, and now I know about him and I can learn a little bit more about him.
Mike Young for District 7 Supervisor, Harvard, Berkeley, Lowell graduate, former U.S. Army infantry officer, former U.S. diplomat under Colin Powell and Hillary Clinton, pushing for more community policing, balancing budget priorities.
That was a little distracting, but sounds like he's got some good issues there.
你好，我是 Mike Young 杨浩然，今年参选旧金山第7区市议员。想多了解我，请登录 votemike.org.
And this is a great tool here, to get to the audience that is in his district. And obviously there's a big Chinese-speaking population in District 7 in San Francisco. And he can do this all on this one profile, right? He doesn't have to have ads in different newspapers and radio ads on different radio stations, etc. So with that, I can continue on, and let's say if I really liked and then sorry about the slowness. This has more to do with just the tablet that I'm on and Wi-Fi connection and that type of thing. Let's say if I really like, Michael Young. Oh, they're saying I have to be in that district. Sorry about that. But I'll show you how fast it is to do something like that. All I need to do is go down, and when I sign up, I would have typically gone through, my zip code would have put me in these districts, and some that are overlapped. Those would all auto-populate, but this one, since it was either or, I'd have to know. And then if you don't know, you can check right here, and get a map on your exact, area, and then where that, what district that you're in. So now with that, I'll be able to, it's going to bring me to today's, but I want to go back to this one. District 7 now, and it allows me to favorite. So as you can see, you can only be in one district at one time. You can only have one zip code at one time. So now it moves to the front there. It's nice and prominent in green, so I can see this on my cell phone or my tablet. Walking to the polling place, I can quickly go through and then see all of my favorites. And let's say I like Ian and Matt and Rachel and Stephen. And there are my fourth. And you can see these percentages change right here. This is an old ballot, so there's very few voters that we've done on this. But this is a way that the candidates can also have an idea of how they're doing. So again, they're not having to buy expensive polling services or those types of things. They can really reach out to as many voters as they can. We can tell them how many signed up, how many looked at their profile, and how many of them are favoriting that candidate, and then they'll be able to change their profile as needed, or they'll be able to reach out in different areas. And this goes for groups and organizations that are endorsing this candidate as well. They can see all that. And those are called trusted sources, and that's just groups and organizations and individuals and unions and that type of thing that want to share their endorsements. But I know this is running long now, so I can get into that later. But the same, propositions work the same way. I click on the proposition, I can read the actual proposition, I can see a little 1-minute explainer video, and then down here I can see all the groups and organizations and individuals that are supporting it and those that are opposing it. And if there's a video here and I want to hear it, I can just click through and watch it.
When does temporary mean temporary? Well, Board of Education and a district board of education. All other states have two: state level, district level. I say absolutely no. By the way, I have kids in public schools in California. I want the best public schools. I still say no on Prop 55.
And then, after going through all of these and listening to their case, if I decide to say no on the proposition, and by the way, I'll show you at the end of this, I'll show you the new front end of this, because this was more of the National Student Parent Mock Election and some beta stuff that we did. But I'd go back to my ballot, and then you'd see here this nice and prominent that's a no. So now I can see how all of my propositions are doing. And let's say this one on legalized marijuana, let's say I know nothing about that. I can click on that and I can read about it, and then again, I can see that Ethan Behrman's for it, and the Chronicle's for it, and the Democratic Party's for it, and Harvey Milk Club's for it, and LA Times is for it. And then over here I can look at a couple of others, which these are surprisingly against it, right? The Green Party and Joe Hemp, and so that would be something that I would start listening to and going through. And then I can even reach out to these groups and organizations and ask them a question. Part of selecting trusted sources as a voter would be that I would look at some propositions, and then I would go through the trusted sources list. And again, this is just a demo example of them. I would go through them and I would try to look for somebody that I recognize or that I trust on that proposition, or that knows about legalized marijuana and maybe what it's been doing in other states or those types of things, and then add those to my list. Oops, sorry about But that's how it works. Would love to talk with you. It's just myself and 2 other developers that have kind of got carried away and built this thing, and then we built it for the National Student Parent Mock Election. We'll be building it, we'll be doing another one in 2018 for the National Student Parent Mock Election, but we also have time now to roll this out to every voter in the country, or as many people as that we can get to sign up. So voters are 100% free. Groups and organizations and individuals that are making endorsements are 100% free, and the business model is that the candidates pay, right now we have it $100 per election, just to keep it really simple. It also allows us to verify that the candidate is who they say they are, but moving forward we'll have a sliding scale where school board maybe $100, Congress maybe a lot more, Senate maybe more, etc. It'll be a little bit more applicable to the number of votes that are in the district that you're running for. If you're still with me, I know this is a really long video, but I'll quickly show you what we have in mind for the 2018. We're calling it the National Student Vote. This will be just the voting part of the National Student Parent Mock Election, where the National Student Parent Mock Election has a week-long curriculum and lesson plans and exercises and those things. And we've seen a pretty dramatic drop-off of teachers signing up for doing the whole week-long lesson plan. So that's still available. We really want to make it easy for them so that they can just log on, get their students a little ID number, so they can all log on, do their voting, and then we can do all the tabulation. So the way it'll work is that teachers will sign up. Again, it's totally free. This is what the sample ballot would look like, very similar to the old ballot. It's a little bit nicer front end, but they'll be able to click on the candidate. They'll be able to see the issues and learn about the candidates and watch videos. They can see endorsements, that type of thing, and then they can favorite the candidate when they decide to vote for that candidate. And then when they go back, it'll be starred green. Now they can also change their mind if they want to do that. They can change it there, and they can discuss and comment and do whatever they want to do, and then we'll lock down the vote at the end of the day or at a certain time. We'll also have ballot questions, and then the ballot questions, these are kind of placeholders right now. We haven't decided fully on those, but we'll have the ballot questions, and then they'll be able to drill down. They'll be able to read a little bit about it. They'll be kind of yes/no questions. And then they'll be able to see arguments in support and arguments against. They can click on those and then read the direct article from the source. So, and these will look a lot nicer when we do it for real. And the same will work, it'll work the same way with the con arguments here, as it will cite the source, and hopefully they'll be able to read lots of the pro and con arguments, and then come to the best decision. But that's it. Would love to talk with you about sponsoring the National Student Parent Mock Election or becoming a partner in some way. And then also on the Win My Vote side, we are a startup that's looking for funding. We're nonpartisan, and when I say nonpartisan, I mean really nonpartisan, where we want to be a platform for candidates to sign up, build their profile, and campaign directly to voters, and then voters be able to see and hear all the candidates on an equal foot, level playing field, and use that to have a sort of a tool to engage civically. It's not something that's just one election, but moving forward, we want them to know who their school board members are and their city council members, and then when they're up for election, and who the candidates are that are running against them, and be able to really track and communicate. And sorry about that, there seems to be a dog outside. Thanks a lot. I hope to hear from you. Bye-bye.